Now, GMA with more on the LA District Attorney's decision, which could lead to the Menendez brothers' release after more than 34 years in prison. For reaction, we're joined exclusively by their family members, Karen Vandermolen, Tamara Goodell, Eric Vandermolen, and Natasha Leonardo. Thank you all for joining us this morning. And Karen, I'm going to start with you. I know you've been fighting for this for a long time. So what was it like to see this day finally arrive?
It's exciting. It's beyond words. We've waited 35 years for someone to believe and move forward with the courage that's been shown in the last few days. And we are continuing to be optimistic that Eric and Lyle will be released soon. And you know, best case scenario would be for us to have Eric and Lyle home for the busy week of Thanksgiving. For us, we have 3 birthdays, and that would be just tremendously amazing. And there's just so much love that we've been wanting to share with them. So it's very meaningful. The progress has been amazing.
And it did take a lot of courage for the LADA to make this decision. And Eric, I want to ask you, do you forgive them for what happened?
Yeah, I do. It's not been about forgiveness for me as much as it's been about understanding and essentially watching what's happened in the media over the last 30-some years. I mean, I was younger, so it affected me a little bit differently, but watching them be vilified, you know, through the recent series on Netflix, Monsters, and also previous ones, it's been a little bit difficult. So, but now that, you know, I think more people are sort of coming around understanding child trauma around sexual abuse cases, and I think that we're sort of capturing a little bit more of the attention of, I guess, the public and the people who should be hearing this.
And Natasha, speaking of the sexual abuse allegations, you know, which the DA says he believes Lyle and Eric were both abused, but there is debate about that in his own office. So what do you think, Natasha?
You know, I have never once doubted Eric and Lyle. I've believed them. The new evidence that has come out just continues to support our belief. We've been fighting for them from the beginning, and I think there should not be a doubt. It's time for them to come be with us.
And I know, Karen, you've spoken with Kyle and Eric recently. Can you tell us how they're feeling?
Yeah, Lyle and Eric continue to be cautiously optimistic. It's you know, 35 years, so if you get your hopes up too high, then you can fall, you know, a little hard if things don't go exactly the way you want them to. And I know they were hoping that things might go a little bit quicker than they have, but ultimately I believe that they will be home and we'll be able to put our arms around them, and they've told us, you know, of course, that's what they want.
Yeah, I'm sure that is what they want for sure. And Tamara, I want to ask you about the DA, who said that the recent media attention played a big role in his decision. What do you think it is about this new generation that they've taken such an interest in this case?
I think there's a few things, honestly. It's a generation that is viewing the new recent documentary, honestly, from a lens of a greater understanding and compassion that all forms of abuse aren't gender specific, and that, you know, looking at the sentence that was handed down to them in the 90s was unjust because it was completely biased based on a society at the time that was fairly did not understand that men could be victimized just as much as women. And with that understanding, this new generation is really putting up a fight to say, this is not what should have been handed to them, and that at this point, after almost 35 years, they've served their time. They have served a penance, and now it's time for them to come home. And you know, I just want to bring it back to my grandmother, who has really advocated for them throughout this time. And I think the new generation, seeing her and seeing her fight, has really stirred up a lot of that curiosity for a generation who has information at their fingertips and can research the world in an instant, and really bring it back to the fact that they are compassionate for what Eric and Lyle survived and experienced, and are now trying to give back to the world at this point throughout all of their victimization.
Well, I just want to say thank you for all four of you to join us in what we know is a very emotional time for you and your family. So thank you all so much for being here with us this morning on GMA.
Thank you.